Okay.
All right, well, happy Friday. Are you looking forward to this 3-day weekend?
Yes.
You gonna fish?
Yes.
Okay. All right, well, it's been a few days short of 3 months since we sat down last time. So give us a status update, specifically at the new assembly factory. There's been a few pictures leaked and teased, but I understand bike shipments are moving. Kind of give us an ETA for when those are actually going to arrive.
I would not say that things are going smoothly, but they're going, and so we assembled the first motorcycle on new assembly line on July 23rd. During the month of August, we made 5 shipments. So we send 2 containers to here, to the United States, we ship container to Japan, Australia, and to our distributor in Czech Republic, and we're serving Great Britain, Ireland, and some Southern European countries. All their assembly shop, we've been twice as fast as we are now. But we're back to operation. That's probably the most important thing.
The people that did come over to the new assembly factory, and then there's a couple new hires I heard. Do you think it's just the reduction in force, or the unfamiliarity with the assembling the bikes?
Rather the latter. Yes, it's all new, and even for workers who've been doing these things all their lives, it's still new location, new fixtures.
Things aren't in the same place.
Things are not the same, and it will take some time to learn new ways. We are full operational, and it will probably take, I don't know, 2-3 months, and we should catch up as far as efficiency at new assembly.
And these bikes coming that have already shipped, and the ones that will be shipping to Austria, they're all going to be 2022?
Yes, we're building 2022 bikes, and September production also going to be 2022. In October, we will start assembling 2023.
So the last of the 2022s is an effort to use up some of the inventory that we had already purchased?
It's a combination. So first, yes, since we have not been operational for 6 months, we have a pretty large inventory of parts for 2022, which we need to use. Another factor is that since we put our suppliers on hold during this month, they're a bit late with deliveries
of the new
2023 parts. Yes.
Okay.
We're expecting them shipping it this month, and they should be in Kazakhstan by early October. And there are a lot of things which are going in parallel, because as you can imagine, this move, it's not like you turn the switch and old factories stop doing something, new factories start doing something. It's a process. So we keep adding assemblies that put together in Kazakhstan instead of the factory.
I was actually going to ask about that. So this is basically this new way of working, the relationship, how things are working with the new assembly plant and the old manufacturing plant. How's that working between the two facilities? You got independent managers now, or is the
it's quite a complicated relationship. So what I'm noticing is that the assembly in Kazakhstan starts feeling itself as more kind of independent from the factory in Irbit, and I see some tensions coming up, which I think are good. Development, because as we talked in one of the previous videos, that when we were under the same roof, the manufacturing and assembly, there were a lot of things which were going on the floor level, which we would not know. Now all these issues are coming up and becoming more obvious, and I think it's good development, which would lead to manufacturing part of the company, pushing them to take more responsibility for the...
I say splitting it into two entities now, you basically have an accountability level that's being applied
which we haven't had before.
There's still this, I would have to say, a little bit of indignant controversy. Any entity, whether it's us or anybody else, doing business in or with Russia, you're paying taxes, you're paying employees, which is viewed as feeding the system. I just want to get your thoughts on that one final time, and then we can put it to rest. We still have a strong level of support from our customers. There was a few out there that were like, I'm going to sell my bike, and then now that's trailed off a little bit to people that are like, I'm never going to buy a product. What do you see our position there?
Okay, the first thing I want to say is that as long as you employ people, no matter where, you pay taxes. So as long as we have people working in the factory in Russia, we're going to be paying taxes. I mean, if some people don't like it, I can't help. It's going to be like this, at least for some time. If some people looking for purity, they're gonna run into problems. If you fly somewhere using Boeings or Airbuses, you should remember that Russian titanium used
in those planes.
In these planes. If you buy any European product, BMW motorcycles, I'm sure BMW uses some electricity to build the motorcycles. How Germany produces this electricity? They produce it using natural gas from Russia, oil from Russia, and also they're going to implement embargo on Russian oil. They're still using it. Things like this. You don't like China, then just you're gonna walk naked. We're living in the 21st century. Everything is very interrelated, and I don't think it's in the interest of humanity to break all connections. It just, I don't believe it's feasible. Not today's world, or at least it will take some time, even if we want to. If somebody having problems with us utilizing components built in Russia, then I respect their feelings, and they will have to stop using our product or not buy it in the future. But there is a totally different story on what we're going to do with the factory in Irbit. What I can tell you at this point is that right now we are focused on setting up processes. We need to get back to stable operation. That bike's been built and shipped. That's the focus. I expect that, as I said earlier, it will take us maybe 3-4 more months for this transition to be completed and the operations becomes more or less smooth. Then we will look at the situation again, because there are certain risks which we need to think about and decide what we're going to do about it.
We went from pandemic supply issues globally for everybody, not just us, but lead times getting longer, raw material prices increasing. Now add to that our geographical location. Ural assumed an additional level of expense relocating the factory. So how do you see this affecting Ural's price on bikes, spare parts? So
it's obvious that prices for Ural products will go up, and for some markets they will go up very significant. Another factor which is very important for us is the exchange rates. So basically we have 3 factors which are pushing our prices up. First is like overall general inflation that we all see and feel. Everything getting more expensive, transportation is getting more expensive, components are getting more expensive. This is
right.
This is all around us, so everybody knows about this. That's one thing. Another thing is that yes, we added another facility.
Right, and we didn't budget for it.
Yeah, we didn't budget, we didn't plan. It's not like we are replacing one assembly facility with another. No, we're renting new space. We are hiring new people who fill the office. We added transportation costs from one factory to another factory, things like this. It's not a huge amount, but there is still extra costs which we didn't have and that we need to recover. And factor number 3 is exchange rates, which is kind of a huge issue for us. Also, we are a very small company, but we are a very global company. We're dealing with euros, yens, US dollars, rubles, British pounds, probably something else which I don't remember. Biggest factor for us is that ruble became very strong against dollar, and all other currencies became cheaper against US dollar. This is why Russian-made components, they became more expensive for us. And then to recoup cost and make profit, we need to increase our prices on the markets where local currency got weaker against dollar, because the majority of our costs are nominated in dollars. So for instance, in Europe, euro is 15% cheaper to dollar. Japanese yen lost almost a quarter of its value. Of course, we will need to compensate for this by increasing our prices for these markets. We don't have tools to hedge against these risks, so we will have to pass it on the customers, unfortunately. Prices in US dollars will go up, and prices in euros or pounds or yens will go up even more significantly.
I guess sitting here at this moment then, with everything that has happened globally and the way the motorcycle industry is, I guess you could say, evolving, you're seeing introduction of more electric bikes. You're seeing new technologies taking over as far as enthusiasm from the retail public. Right now, we're just trying to get back on a level playing field with what we had at the beginning of 2022. Where do you see us, say, in 3 years?
It's a good question. I don't know if I can give you a good answer. First, because of COVID, and now this war in Ukraine, we pretty much have not been investing in
research and development,
R&D. Majority of our developing projects on hold, except some things related mostly to outsourcing. But maybe this 2-year pause is a good thing, because as you said, the environment is changing pretty dynamically. We are finding ourselves with pretty good indication that maybe not in 3 years from now, but in 10 years from now, we might not be able to sell our product if it's still equipped with internal combustion engines, specifically in markets such as Europe or Great Britain, maybe even here in certain states. It's pressing us to put a really serious thoughts on what direction we have to take as far as development of new products. And obviously, electric is something that we need to seriously consider. And as you know, you drove it. we built a prototype, maybe not even prototype. We built a
proof of concept.
Yes, it was more like proof of concept. We know what can be, what it can do. We know what advantages it brings in terms of potential for involving more people into Uraling, specifically people with less motorcycle experience, or maybe even without motorcycle experience, like yours truly.
Yeah, because you wrote it.
It's in my house. Of course, we will look at it very close when we'll start breathing again. And maybe it will push us to seriously reconsider our product strategy. But not now. If we're going to do this, it's going to be the only project we will be working, and we need to structure this project in a way so it negate the challenges and risks. As it turned out, everything we did with outsourcing, moving machine parts to suppliers that located outside of Russia. On one hand, it helped us to actually continue our operations. On the other hand, it also creates risks. Because if you read the news or watch TV, you obviously cannot stop thinking, oh, how safe is to have suppliers in Taiwan? Is it? I think it is.
You never know.
You never know, yes.
The fact that you went fishing means that you're a little bit more relaxed. So
maybe fishing is my
stress reliever.
Stress reliever, yeah. Look,
I mean, it just.
I think we are doing okay.
As I say, it doesn't feel as gloomy as it did 3 months ago.
No, of course it's not gloomy. The most important thing that bikes and parts are coming. We're a little behind, but the production schedule, I know what we're gonna build next. Parts are coming to the factory, and more looking at normal normal operational business. Also, 6 months ago, it looked like an extremely crazy idea to send guys to Kazakhstan and like to find a place to land. We did it. What I should say is that people who been actually doing this, they're heroes.
Yeah,
like absolute heroes. Like 99% of the work has been done by factory guys who are working 24/7 in Kazakhstan, living there without seeing their families for several weeks in a row, who are covering huge distances back and forth on their own cars, going through borders and roads which are not always smooth. Of course, we are talking daily and talking via video conferencing, and they always show me something what they did to assembly shop, so it looks more and more like a professional assembly shop, and what I feel a drive to make it better than it was in Irbit, which I really like to see and hear. And I feel this level of pride and enthusiasm, which is coming from Kazakhstan, which is a very, very good thing, and which makes me confident more than anything else, really.
So I appreciate your time, but is there anything else in closing that you'd like to add?
Just wanted to thank again all our supporters, customers or future customers, and I invite them to dealerships around the country and around the globe later this month to look at Kazakhstan made Ural. I hope they will like it.
All right. Well, until next time. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.